To commemorate the YWCA's 100th anniversary in Tulsa, we want to celebrate our vast accomplishments in the community, as well as look to the future. Since the very beginning, the YWCA has been dedicated to eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all.
Being a leader in this community through the YWCA, inclusiveness is really at the heart of our values. But what people often don't realize is that boldness is actually one of our core values. And that is something that the YWCA has embodied for the past 100 years, and really being on the right side of history. And as we continue to embrace that boldness and taking stances on issues that might be difficult but are really critical in this community is where we will continue to be.
Being known as a progressive organization and standing up for causes that may be unpopular at the time is nothing new to us. To understand where we are headed in the future, we must simply look to the visionary leaders of the past. These women with moxie continue to light our path today, reminding us every day it's the W that makes the difference. For a century, the YWCA has always looked to a new day. To see before others see, and to see beyond what others see. To look down the years to a new day is to have a great adventure. A tribute to Anna Roth, founder and first president of the YWCA Tulsa. Under Anna Roth's leadership, we built our first location at 5th and Cheyenne, lovingly known as the Little Gray Cottage. Women and girls were moving to Tulsa in droves because of the booming oil industry, and they found safety and empowerment within the walls of the YWCA. Social, physical education, religious, business, and service programs were made available, in addition to a cafeteria that offered affordable lunches and a proper gathering place at a time when women were not able to go out unescorted. At even the most terrifying moments of our history, the YWCA was there to help, to offer shelter, and against all odds, stand for those who had been wronged. In 1921, amid rising racial tensions in Tulsa, a stretch of the Greenwood district, known as Black Wall Street, erupted in the Tulsa Race Massacre, destroying 35 blocks of North Tulsa, including a YWCA building. The massacre left up to 300 dead. The YWCA was there to offer a sanctuary in the chaos, quickly opening a new location and serving refugees of the violence. The YWCA was one of the first organizations to respond after the nightmarish event, an action which nearly closed its doors because of public backlash. By establishing the cooperative Camp Parthenia in 1932, we housed and fed more than 1,000 women and their families, turning away no one in need and managing to survive through the Depression. The YWCA lived on cornbread and water in 32, 33, and 34, but we lived and kept our ideal that we had but one reason for being, and that was to be of service to girls in their desperate need. Mrs. Robert Fox MacArthur, president of the board, 1930s. Having worked over the years to improve race relations between African American and white Tulsans in the early 1950s before integration, the Central YWCA provided meeting space for interested parties to discuss issues of race. For many years, the YWCA was the only organization to offer a meeting place in Tulsa where people of both races could discuss matters related to civil rights. In 1975, an indoor warm water pool was built at the East Center. Since the location had no stairs, curbs, or other barriers to access, the pool was one of the few in Tulsa at that time that was accessible to people with physical disabilities. It soon became a popular spot for people with physical disabilities, adding to our long history of inclusion. The 1980s also brought services for displaced homemakers, a program which expanded in 1987 to become the Women's Resource Center, which offered licensed counseling, group therapy, and career counseling for more than 25 years. Today, YWCA Tulsa annually serves over 10,000 immigrants and refugees who come from more than 50 countries and assists hundreds of people each year in pursuing their U.S. citizenship. Our clients make our businesses and communities stronger, creating a more vibrant and diverse Tulsa.
We touch almost 15,000 lives every single year through our immigrant and refugee services.
It started with 8 Russian-speaking older women. They call them babushkas. You know, they had not been in the country very long. They were going to lose their benefits, which was pretty scary because they were on very limited fixed income. Many of them were widows and very frightened. So we got an idea. We found a Russian-speaking English teacher that went to the apartments. So these English classes were modified to meet their needs, and it took a period of about 2 years for them to become U.S. citizens. They were like so into it, and you couldn't have asked for a better spokesperson. And we thought, my God, if they can do it, anybody else can do it as well. That experience led to formulating Project Citizenship. That was the seed actually that helped us to write the grant and the proposal to becoming the first to get that grant. So that's how it all started, Project Citizenship.
Eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. And that in and of itself is a pretty bold mission.
We work with people from all over the world, and we don't turn anyone away. This is part of our mission, is to help everyone.
It's finding folks where they're at and helping them discover where they want to be and helping them get there.
And that people of different races can do the same thing and not be held back by minority status or by their gender.
We're also a place where if you are someone who is really, really committed to social justice and social change in our community, you can come to the YWCA and get plugged into a movement.
I'm encouraged about what Tulsa can be because I see every day people choosing, despite the things that they might not like here, to say, no, I'm going to be a part of making it better.
When I think of the Centennial, it just blows my mind because not many businesses make it to 100 years.
We are celebrating 100 years in Tulsa, and as is characteristic of the YWCA, we're doing that by celebrating the women that have made Tulsa what it is, and the women who have demonstrated moxie and have personified our mission.
It's moxie that makes you make those tough decisions and implement those tough decisions that need to be made.
Moxie for me is having to deal with the circumstances you've been dealt with and having to kind of find something deep within yourself.
When the flow is going strong one direction, they'll go against the flow.
It's moxie that makes you not be quiet when you need to be loud.
It's grit. It's doing what you have to do no matter what your circumstances are, and just keep plowing ahead.
It's moxie that gives you the strength to stand up against injustices that you see in the community, and then beyond that, actually do something to right that injustice.
You're scared out of your mind, but you do it anyway. That to me is moxie.
I like what we've got, but I love what we can be. But we can only be that thing if we've got people who have some moxie, willing to kind of inspire the rest of us to say, yeah, I'll do that with you. I'll think about that a different way, or I'll fight with you towards that end.
As the YWCA enters its 2nd century, I'm looking forward to another 100 years of people coming to the YWCA to join a collective movement for change and making Tulsa a better and more inclusive and welcoming place for all.
Thank you for celebrating 100 years of the YWCA in Tulsa. Here's to another century of empowering women and eliminating racism.